My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. Hey y'all, so I just finished decluttering my single eyeshadows. There's a pile here of decluttered shadows, and I also have some single face products here off to the side that I had removed from my empty palettes so that I could clearly declutter my single eyeshadows. And I have a number of empty palettes here, and then I have all of the decluttered shadows, like the ones that I kept in here, not the ones that I decluttered. And now I need to decide what to do. I need to figure out where I'm going to put different shadows. I need to consolidate the ones that I'm going to give away into one or two palettes that I can then give away. And I'd like to curate some little everyday palettes. Like I want to just build one or two palettes of shadows that I kind of want to have on hand right now. So I decided to film that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to either not talk at all, or I'm just going to talk very quietly every once in a while just to say a little thing here or there. And I'm just going to put music over it and I'm just going to go. And so this is going to be kind of like a video that you can unwind and zone out to. It'll be something visual, not something that you probably want to just listen to, but something that you want to watch sometime when you really just need to look at beautiful shadows. And I'll do some swatching along the way. I have some wet towels and a makeup wipe on the side so that I can wipe my hands off, and I'll try to keep them relatively clean most of the time so it doesn't get to be too much of a mess. And that's it. I've never done anything like this. I've never created like just a pure meditative video, so we'll see how it goes. So when I decluttered my shadows, I was so drawn to these grungy greens and teals. I have so many of them, and I don't feel like I do looks with these colors proportionate to how many of them I have and how many of them I kept. So I decided to put all of them together in their own little palette, and I'm gonna try to reach for this in the coming weeks and see how it goes, because I obviously love this color story, and I think maybe I just don't have very much experience with it, or I'm a little bit afraid of it or something. So I'm gonna isolate it and give it some love. So now that I've made some space in this big palette, I'm going to go ahead and put my single face powders in with my eyeshadows and just keep this as the place where I store everything. going to take a minute and consolidate all of my giveaway eyeshadows. And I think that as much as I love this gorgeous double-sided palette from Adept, I think I might actually go ahead and give this away to somebody who doesn't have a magnetic palette, because I have so many and I tend to make the most use of the ones that have mirrors in them. So I'm going to put all of my giveaway eyeshadows into this palette, clean it up a bit, and then it will be ready to give as a gift. So when I was decluttering my eyeshadows, I came across these two Natasha Denona singles, which were sent to me as a gift. And I remarked that I would really like to do an eye look just using these two together, because they're just both beautiful sort of silvery sable colors. So I'm going to keep them in this little tiny Z palette on the top of my vanity, and I decided to add Makeup Geek Steampunk in with them in case I want to smoke out the look. So this is what I've ended up with. These shadows and face powders are basically in storage. I don't really pull this palette out to use it. I pull it out to pull shadows out of it and put them into smaller palettes. And that's what I've done here. So in this palette, I have these, which I'm going to make a concerted effort to use over the next couple of weeks. And I have this little mini palette with kind of like a special shimmery sable neutral look in it that I'm also going to put on top of my vanity. So all of my random singles are here. And then I've also got, of course, my Cliona shadows, some of which are now living in this palette. And I've also got my Adept shadows all together in an Adept palette. But what's interesting from this is that I've ended up with so many empty magnetic palettes. So if you count this empty pan right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces empty, 6 magnetic palettes that are empty. The interesting thing is that I'm quite attached to all of these. This, I think, is my favorite palette that Adept has sent me. Of course, the big one, the really big one with the beautiful pattern, I purchased that myself. This one came in PR and I absolutely love this. I think my love of this is part of what's allowing me to part with the one that I'm going to give away, the two-sided one with the insert in the middle. So this is a space that shadow can go, and all of these, gosh, I need to think about it for a minute. I'm just not sure I'm ready to let go of them, because even though there aren't shadows in them, I use them as tools. Okay, I take it back. I thought about it and I think that there are some that I can part with. This one I absolutely love. It's like the perfect little shape and size for building a daily palette, and I very frequently build palettes into this. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to that one. This one is incredibly useful because of its small size. I'm gonna hang on to that one. And then this one I love because it's a good big size, and it has a good big mirror. So if I ever want to travel with a lot of eyeshadows and I want a mirror, but I don't want to take this double palette with me, then it'll be this one. And so I don't think I can part with that one either. But these two are both kind of mid-sized, and neither one has a mirror. So I'm going to declutter these. I will find somebody to adopt. And that does it. These are all of my single shadows, completely exposed. There's nothing squirreled away anywhere. And these are also all of my empty magnetic palettes. And I use these spaces for traveling with my singles, or for playing around with them, rearranging their order, rehousing them, and being inspired by them. And I think that this is good. I like the idea that this is the holding place for my random shadows. This is where my Cliona shadows live, and this is where my Adept shadows live. And then I can take from those 3 pots to build rotating palettes of any of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any of these 6 sizes and shapes. So I'm going to proceed to store my empty magnetic palettes sort of separately in the way that you would store brushes as a tool. And I think that I'll be a lot happier with these consolidated single shadows. They're easier to keep in my Makeup Mind Palace, and I feel really, really excited about working with all of them. that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this one, and I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself right now so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.